Well, here's a question for you. Why does Tasmanian Liberal MP Bridget Archer stay in the Liberal Party? It's a good question, but the better question is why the Liberal Party suffer her to remain. Archer, who's voted against her own party no less than 27 times, wasted no time this month telling the media she would not support her party's opposition to The Voice. Big surprise. Honestly, these days it's news when Archer does support her own party. The Liberal Party meeting to decide on a referendum position had barely broken up before Archer was telling all and sundry that she would be doing her own thing. She declared she would not follow the coalition's opposition to The Voice and would instead join the Yes campaign.
I think we need to elevate this issue beyond divisive, nasty politics and walk together into the future with unity, with purpose for a united Australia.
If only the rest of the Liberal Party was as righteous as Ms Archer. Archer would never engage in divisive, nasty politics. Archer is all about unity and walking together. Apart from when she's retweeting comments by Labor politicians accusing her own Liberal leader of a dog act, I mean. Among the responses to the Guardian article, an article the unity-loving Bridget Archer is now promoting on her own Twitter feed, were multiple tweets describing her leader as a dog. One person said that Peter Dutton, a former police officer, had been given, quote, a tin of dog food as a going-away present, end quote, when he resigned from Queensland Police. Another asked if the opposition leader had taken over Pauline Hanson as the most racist person in our country. But I mean, apart from promoting all of that via her Twitter feed, Bridget Archer is all about unity and supporting her party. Oh, and there was this other tweet where she describes important and powerful accusations that her leader was the undertaker of the Uluru Statement of the Heart. But seriously, other than those two tweets, she's very committed to walking into the future with unity and stuff like that. Well, I mean, except for this other retweet of an activist describing Archer's Liberal leader as shameful. Or maybe that was a butt tweet, who knows. The member for Bass was one of 5 MPs who reportedly spoke in favour of The Voice to Parliament after the Liberal Party's marathon party room meeting on the subject. And that was her right. But she failed to convince colleagues of her argument, and the party voted instead to oppose The Voice. Archer, being all about unity, left the party room to start tweeting nasty and divisive things in order to demonstrate that there must be an end to nastiness and divisiveness. Archer told Radio National she'd considered leaving the party but decided to remain and reform the Liberals from within. The old reform from within routine. It does beg the question, why reform the Liberal Party into the Greens when the Greens already exist and would gladly welcome Archer into their fold? Meanwhile, Shadow Cabinet Minister Simon Birmingham has said he will not support the Shadow Cabinet's decision to oppose The Voice. But don't worry, he won't be quitting the Shadow Cabinet to take a lower wage on the back bench. Why should he? He's not actually opposing the Shadow Cabinet decision, he's just not supporting it. And if you can't see the difference, that's because you lack the special self-serving perspective that only white anters possess. And he's not quitting as the Liberal Party's Senate leader either, despite the fact that he will not lead the Liberal Party's campaign against The Voice. It's not like he's campaigning against it, he's just not campaigning for it. Again, it's white anter logic. Sky News chief news anchor Kieran Gilbert tried to make sense of it all.
My intention, Kieran, Julian has a long and deep history on this issue, and I have nothing but respect for Julian and the highest of regard.
When Birmingham finally stops eulogising Julian Leeser in order to avoid talking about his own dupliciousness, Gilbert tries a different tack.
Will you campaign for a no vote?
Well, it's equally not my intention. My intention is to respect the Australian people who will go about this referendum applying their judgment to the issues that are before them at the time.
Birmingham's reply continues for more than a minute, noting that the Australian people would vote and that there were different aspects to the vote and that some people say some things and other people say other things. Gilbert tried a slightly different angle.
So you won't campaign for a no vote. Can I ask you, at a personal level, will you vote yes in the ballot box when it comes to that referendum?
To which Birmingham replied,
Well, every Australian's going to enjoy the normal secret ballot of this type of process.
in other words, not telling. An exasperated Gilbert tried one last time.
But in this context of the Voice, you haven't considered standing aside?
Look, I haven't considered doing so at this stage, Kieran.
And then Birmingham immediately launched into a 2-minute monologue about how much he admired Julie and Lisa. So the Liberal Senate leader will not campaign for the Liberal position, nor will he vote for the Liberal position, but he will remain in the position of Liberal Senate leader. The one thing you can be sure of in the modern Liberal Party is that white ants are going to white ant.